Hello and welcome, I'm Claire at the Fintech Times. We're here today in London at the MoneyLive Summit 2023 and I'm delighted this afternoon to be joined by Johnny Steele. He is the Head of Banking at SAS. Hello Johnny.
Hey Claire, how are you doing?
Great, thank you. It's been a long day though.
It's been a long day, it's the end of the day.
Before we start our little chat, could you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role?
Yeah, sure. So Johnny Steele, as you say, I look after the UK banking team here at SAS. I've been at SAS 25 years. SAS has been doing data and analytics and AI for the last 45 years across a variety of different industries, telcos, public sector, health and life sciences, and obviously also financial services, which is our biggest industry sector.
Yeah, because you work a lot with banks, don't you, to kind of help them drive innovation and improve customer experiences?
We do. We help banks in the risk and regulatory space, fraud and financial crime, and also on the customer experience side as well. So and we work with all the major banks in the UK.
Let's start with a chat about digital transformation and I guess what the expectation is on banks and also what consumers are expecting now.
Yeah, I mean, it's digital transformation is obviously a very hot topic in banking. It's very prevalent, and they're all having to embrace it. And the pandemic really accelerated that. We saw that as consumers, but also in our working lives as well. Banks and consumers were left with no choice. They had to move to digital channels. The pace of change just accelerated dramatically through 2020 and 2021. And that's really propelled things forward much quicker than we thought.
Yeah, and I guess more and more people are engaging digitally now. So what can banks do to ensure that people are still able to have a personalised and tailored experience?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question, because if you think back, and I know you're not old enough, but if you think back to the 70s when people went into the bank branch, the bank manager knew them and they knew their kids' names and their family situations, and they had that personal conversation. And I think it's probably fair to say that connection doesn't exist in the same way anymore as we move to the digital world. But ironically, we've got more data available to us now that can help us build that picture to give a really detailed 360-degree understanding of the customer. So it's just about being able to pull the data from all those different places into that single view, and then being able to act upon that in the moments that matter for the customer.
So the new consumer duty is raising the bar on consumer protection. It's putting a lot of pressure on people to comply with it, but what's actually the benefits that are going to come from consumer duty?
Well, I mean, I think there's benefits clearly for the customer. So first and foremost, the burden is then on the banks to make sure that the products and services that they offer to their clients are the right ones, but not just at that moment, for the lifetime of the product. So consumers can rest easy in the knowledge that as long as the banks are complying with the regulation, which of course they will, they'll be getting products and services which are fit for their purpose. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing is, for the banks, I think it's a great opportunity because it's a data challenge here. They have to bring together those many data sources that are at their disposal to form that picture, and in doing that and providing the evidence to the regulator that what they're doing is fair and ethical for clients, that unlocks opportunity because it gives them a greater understanding of their products and services and how they're used, and a much greater and more intimate understanding of the customers themselves. So that gives them the opportunity to offer products that are right, that will increase stickiness, increase share of wallet. So I think the opportunities for both customers and also for the banks themselves.
That's great, thank you. Let's hear a little bit more about SAS, and could you share a bit of an insight into some of the work that you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things happening. The banks are all on this digital transformation journey. There's some challenges with that because they all have huge legacy. They've layered up applications and data and processes over decades, and unpicking that can be difficult, particularly in a very highly regulated world. But we're doing some really interesting work with their banking clients, UK and globally. So one of the global banks that we work with, for example, we help them transform their loan origination process really shortened the time to money for the customer. So it's a great customer experience, but helped the bank make more optimal decisions about, you know, how much they would lend and to whom and on what sort of terms. They achieved 10 times ROI off the back of that, and it's, you know, it's been a great experience for them. Another German bank that we work with have seen an 11% uptick in their revenues as a result of being able to deploy AI models into the decision process. So they've got over 70 models running, and they're able to pick which one of those is the most appropriate, and deploy that into the customer journey. And they've seen, you know, as I say, 11% increase in revenues off the back of that.
One of the phrases that I've heard a lot today is hyper-automation. What is it, and what advantage will it bring?
It's a classic buzzword, isn't it? I mean, I think when you boil it down, it probably means really two things. RPA, or robotic process automation, is a big it's a big industry trend. It's not an area that SAS plays in, but we partner with organisations who do, and that's all about automating those manual processes and just making them much more efficient. The hyper-automation element of it is where you introduce intelligence or AI and analytics into the decision making that happens thereafter. So a bit like the example I was mentioning earlier around loan origination, you know, making really personalised decisions for customers about the products and services that are right for them in the moment when they are interacting. So capturing the data from that customer journey, whether that's on the mobile app or on the website, and marrying that up with the other data points that you have about that customer to be able to make the most informed decision and deliver an offer or a service that is highly, highly relevant and very, very timely.
It's fantastic. We're coming to the end of day one of MoneyLive. How have you found the summit so far?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, there's great energy around the place. It's a long day, right, as you were describing earlier, and but we met loads of interesting people, both in terms of, you know, the delegates themselves and the exhibitors. So really, really interesting for us. You know, SAS is, as I said, 45 years history in this space, but, you know, we're seeing lots of new entrants into the AI space, lots of fintechs, and it's such a vibrant and energetic arena. The presentations that I've been to have been fantastic. I listened to Matt Hammerstein from Barclays this morning. Fascinating to hear his view on where banking is going, where they need to go next. So yeah, it's been a great day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, there's been lots of exciting innovation stories today that I think we're taking away. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
And enjoy tomorrow.
Thank you very much. You too.